Welcome to Line Trading, taking a look at today's SPY recap and live analysis before going over what to be watching into tomorrow. So the first thing that I explained in the pre-market brief for Discord members was to be watching for this inverse cup that we had right here with the gap down and to see if we could get below the 5-day moving average. So you see how we started to form this handle right here, and eventually we did lose this 5-day moving average with that head and shoulder right there and close this cup. Now we will go over this on the 1-minute chart as well, but when it was time to form this handle right here, you see how there is no handle to continue lower and grab the rest of that liquidity to the downside, and instead that 5-day moving average that I explained you had to be paying attention to, we formed that inverse head and shoulder back off of it. Now with this crazy candle at the end of the day, I personally did not take it, but I did explain that with the quarter ending today, you had to pay attention during power hour and especially the last 30 minutes. Now you can see that I said, I cannot remember which quarter it was, but we did have a move similar to this where the last 30 minutes, it looked like we were about to head down, right, in a kind of bearish structure right here. Then all of a sudden, we have a monster rally, which is exactly what occurred today as well. But now here on the 1-minute chart, going over the microstructure and algorithms. So to start the day, I explained in the morning you had to be paying attention to this 5-day moving average right here. Now we had this first move up off the open from the gap down, but if you paid attention to this starting to form right here, you could see how we start to close this inverse cup right here and begin forming this handle, which eventually does give this head and shoulder right there, as well as another inverse cup. And you see that handle right there with that head and shoulder for this move down, just a scalp, but still a nice move down. Now, I also explained that if we are to head back up, be paying attention to this shoulder right here off of the 5-day moving average. And if we begin to form this, you can look for that move up. Now, it did not occur just yet, but you see how we're still within this blue algorithm right here. And finally, we form that inverse head and shoulder and grab that liquidity to the upside, closing that cup right here. Now with this move up right here, I explained on the 30-minute chart, you had to be paying attention to this 571.74 level, which you can see how we start to form resistance right here and begin tapering from that stronger buying. You see here on the 30-minute chart, I explained you had to be paying attention to this inverse head and shoulder above that level right here, and you see how we cannot form that support and close the cup at 572.50 quite yet. And from here, we start to form that head and shoulder off that level and begin to get this move down right here, closing the cup. Now with this inverse head and shoulder back above this 5-day moving average right here, grabbing that shoulder and getting above that 571.74 level, there was a initial move up right there, but I explained that you have to now be paying attention for this structure right here to form. Watch for this head and shoulder back below. We tried to right here, but we did not grab that shoulder on the way down quite yet, and eventually we did. You see how we close that inverse cup right here, and we begin to form this handle and begin forming these head and shoulders right here on the way down as we close this cup back to this level, and from there begin forming this handle, which we are now about to talk about, and Powell speaking, which is where the big move happens. You see how we complete that and begin heading down right here. Now at this point right here, as we continue to head down and form this larger structure right here, I explain you have to be now paying attention to this forming right here. You can see how that head and shoulder is forming, and to watch that inverse cup closing right here to give that move down. Otherwise, be paying attention to this inverse head and shoulder right here, and if we want to form something like that back above that 571.74 to complete this cup. So with this move down off of this head and shoulder right here, I explained you have to be paying attention to this level right here for the bounce, and you see how we bounce off of this inverse cup level right there. Now initially it takes some time, and I explained that if you want to see this heading down, be looking for this handle right here. Otherwise, you can see us regain that 5-day moving average. So right here, if you're looking for this, you need to start to see that forming on the way down. Otherwise, be paying attention as we can be forming this inverse head and shoulder back above the 5-day moving average right here, which we end up doing. You see how we form this cup and this handle within blue and yellow controlled selling, and ultimately get that inverse head and shoulder, another cup and handle, and we start to make this move up right here. Now, with this move up, right, obviously no one can ultimately guarantee this move being a $4 move in 30 minutes, but you see how if you were involved off of that cup and handle I explained right here, you could begin to catch that and you would have been rewarded for it. You also see how on the 5-minute chart I explained, right, you have to be paying attention to all of this liquidity that we have right here. And if we do want to grab this, we absolutely can. And it ended up going all the way up here and now completing this cup right here, which we can see. Now going over what to be watching into tomorrow. So with that cup that we have closed here, be paying attention to this blue and yellow controlled selling algorithm right here. And if we start to form something like that, now if we open higher, pay attention to us forming right that support off of these levels right here and continuing that push. Now we do have job openings tomorrow, so be paying attention to that at 10 a.m. And if there is some bad news, and right, we continue to head back down, be watching for this head and shoulder right here. Watch for us to get back below this 5-day moving average right here. But you can see right on the terms of the larger structure right here, we are heading back up, grabbing this liquidity right here, and we can absolutely continue this. Otherwise, you have to be ultimately seeing us back below that 5-day moving average, and we have to form something like that. Here on the daily chart, as we've been talking about this 5-day moving average that continues trending up, and we are remaining above it, right? Same thing right here. You see how we are holding this 5-day moving average, holding this 5-day moving average. Upper Bollinger is trending up. Upper Bollinger is trending up. Same thing right here. So if we can continue to see this push up, Upper Bollinger will be the next target. Otherwise, you can look for us to get below that 5-day moving average. And in that case, we will want to see this 20 retested, which is starting to base right here. But we need to see this 5-day continue to base as well and a move down. Otherwise, maybe this is the breakout that we needed. I will wrap up the video though for tonight. So thank you everyone for watching, and I will see members in the morning.